I pray as you sit here today and you're kind of pondering as your mind starts bouncing inside of your head trying to figure out, is anyone watching? Because I think I got to get out of here before things get real bad. Hey, just hang in there. Remember, when God was here 2,000 years ago, when you have an encounter with God, when God really appears and begins to speak, it always ruffles some of those religious things that we're so... I'm telling you that it's easy for us to open up our Bible and know the verse, and it's so easy for us. I just wish I could bring you back in time 2,000 years ago when some rabbi looked around and said, if you don't eat me and drink my blood, you got no part in me. That did not sound right. That was not biblical. The place where your glory dwells. You see, every time God speaks, it's not biblical. It becomes biblical after he speaks it. Come on. Don't leave me up here all by myself. I'm about to run down there and start speaking. So here's the thing. If you have come to hear something that you're like, okay, well, that sounds biblical. I agree with that. Hang in there. It's going to get a little bumpy. Because what God is about to show, what God is about to do, what God is about to do in this nation, in this land, in this world is not of this world. And what's coming to this world is not of this world. There's a war, there's a kingdom. It's like the Super Bowl of Super Bowls. The spiritual battle is about to take place. And it's preparing his sons and daughters for this war. And they've been sitting around sipping on coffee, wondering, how's your day, brother? How's your day, sister? Won't you greet your brother? Won't you greet your sister? You better be greeting each other when you're not in church, so that when you get to church, you don't have to do the greeting, so that you can hear what God is saying. There is no more time for this. Oh, hi, brother. Hi, sister. How's everybody? We'll be praying for you. No, God don't need you praying for somebody. He needs you there next to them when they're going through their hard time, so that you can endure them. And maybe you may not have the faith or the ability to speak a word that's going to transform their life, but you know what? Maybe they just need a friend next to them. Without a word, without a prophecy, without nothing, just with hands and feet and eyes and a mouth to say, I don't know how to fix your problem, but I'm not letting you go. I'm not letting you go alone. We're looking to get the miracles, and God is saying, why are you looking for the supernatural when you can't even do the natural? God wants so much to awaken his children. Your dwelling place, Calvary is your dwelling place. Sometimes you really have to go way back to understand where you are today, because if you don't know where you come from with it, you can't know where you... It's impossible. See, we don't even know why we don't even know why we were formed out of mud. God, our Father, who can speak all things into existence, he's speaking the light. He's speaking all kinds of things, and they're appearing. My God, the word of God comes forth, and boom, there it is. Whoa! And then God is about to do one of the most amazing things. He's about to reveal to the universe that he just created what he looks like, because no one's ever seen God. And instead of speaking that into reality, he decides to look at some mud and bring it up and start forming this mud into his face. And let me tell you something, all the animals came to see what God looked like, because nobody never seen God. And the angels came, look, and says, what is going on? It says, that's the creator, as he was forming Adam. No one had ever seen him. Why don't he just speak this thing? Why doesn't he just speak it? Let there be man, and man would have appeared. God could not speak man into being, because if he did, we would be part of creation. God never brought us into this thing to be part of creation. He brought us into this thing to be sons and daughters. He doesn't create sons and daughters. He forms them. This is what God does. And so he brings us out of the mud. Why? Because God knows that when you take seed and you put it into the dirt, this seed is going to multiply. And what you put into the dirt is going to multiply itself. And this is why we're not here following something. We're becoming that what we think we're following. When you're a baby, ain't nothing better than your mother's breast. You're drinking and drinking and drinking and drinking. You don't need no utensils to eat because you're a baby. But when you start growing little teeth, mama goes, and she start taking a little spoon, putting some little food in your mouth. And at first, you know what they do? They spit it out. They don't like that. Well, mama don't like getting bit either. So she keep pushing stuff into your mouth. You see, so you go from this soft breast where you don't need any utensils, and then there's someone using any utensil, which is kind of round and safe and begins to feed you. But when you mature, you start eating T-bone steak, and you have some sharp instruments. You got a knife, and you got a fork, and you don't need nobody to tell you how to eat. You just start cutting your food and eating it. The problem with the body of Messiah is that we've been sucking on milk for way too long, listening to the same messages day after day, week after week. How many times you need to hear that Jesus doesn't love you and he died for you? And how many times you have to go in front of the cross? He ain't there no more. He's moving on, and people don't need a 2,000-year revelation of Jesus. They need a revelation of I am today. They need to see him today. They need to see him in you today.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to God Chat. I'm your host, Eating Tater Tots. Chris, that's my name. And I'm waiting on Diana. She's joining us momentarily. Let me adjust some stuff here. To say we're exhausted tonight is an understatement, but we really didn't want to miss another God Chat. We did that a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, we want to be here. So we had a very blessed weekend with ups and downs. All the downs were really blessings. But when Diana comes, and here she is. Hello, Diana.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to God Chat.
I think
Monday
Rick
night.
may still be here. I don't know if anybody else is yet, but just so Rick knows, I played 3 episodes of Messiah Chips tonight before the God Chat. If you've never heard Rabbi Peter, I should have warned everybody because he tends to preach in ways that kind of
right.
It will shock people if you don't know what you're listening to from him. So if he didn't trip you out, I'm glad. If he did, I recommend watching him more because he's a wonderful trip. Fully immersed in the blood of Christ, just has a different way of preaching it, is how I would put it.
Mm-hmm.
So, honey, how do you feel after this? Basically, it's like a 3-day weekend.
Well, it was actually 3.5 days because we got there on Thursday night?
That's true. So it was 4 days, 3 nights. It was like a cruise, but without the water or the boat.
I wouldn't quite call it a cruise, but
I would.
Okay.
So we had to go to Mohegan Sun
to
attend the Terrificon in Connecticut. Mohegan Sun is a casino. And
honey,
what?
The date, it's not 9/2, it's 8/2. Just wanted to let you know that.
Oh, no wonder no one showed up. I'll fix that later. I don't think I can fix it now. Let me check. But Mohegan Sun is a casino, and if you've ever seen a casino in the movies or anything, it's nothing like that. In my opinion, it's completely different. It's similar but different
Right.
until you're there. So it's 8-1, right, honey?
It's 8-2, actually.
Or 8-2, excuse me. Oh,
Yep.
goodness. We are tired.
Yeah.
But I must admit, I was a little overwhelmed by the whole scene.
Mm-hmm.
But not in a negative way. I found lots of things that were kind of cool about the place. And we'll talk about that in a second. I
Okay.
just edited the title, but it won't edit until after the stream. So we'll have to go with it. Hey, Rick.
Hey.
Hi,
Welcome
Rick.
aboard. So, hey, have you ever been in a casino?
Technically, yes, but not really at the same time. When I did my cross country thing to go to LA to do Alpha Omega Con, which is a Christian Comic Con, there was a stop in Las Vegas for a couple hours. So there was a casino like just down the street. I went in for like 5 or 10 minutes. I didn't really explore it. I played one of the nickel things,
Yep.
Nickel slots, and then I also played a poker machine. It was all digital. I played $1 on the nickel one, won $4, so basically $3. And then I went and played the poker one for $1 and lost that. So ultimately, I came out with $2 extra.
Nice.
So Mohegan Sun, when we entered this place as customers, not as convention people, because it was completely different in the convention.
Right.
But when we entered it, it was almost like walking into Babylon. There were these huge structures and art things and archways and extremely impressive sites, all man-made, all like, wow. Like, and I was blown away by it all. And really thankful that I have Jesus in me because of all the things around you. It's like, I can't even explain. Like the one thing I noted most was the bald-headed white guys in the black suits. There were like dozens of them on the floor at all times. There must be security, but they all look the same. They're all white guys, bald-headed, black suits. And there were a couple that were different, that had hair and weren't necessarily white, but they were like the new guys. You could tell they were young.
Yeah.
It was bizarre, man. So
he had a whole plot going on in his head.
yeah, it'll be in one of my books soon. I'm going to write a little story about it. But we went in, and so like gambling is something that a lot of Christians struggle with. But Diana and I kind of have this little like, well, we'll go in, we'll have a set amount that we'll play with because it is fun, and then we're done.
Yeah.
So Thursday night we went in, Rick. And I hit hard. I got $130 like in the first hour off of $5.
That was us hitting hard for all you pro gamblers who may or may not.
Yeah, you may be laughing at us, but that's us hitting hard.
So by hitting hard, you mean you actually won money?
Right.
To me, that sounds more like you lost money.
Right.
Well, wait till you hear the story. This gets crazy. Okay, so I had turned $5 into 137 actually. I think it was total. And poor Diana, always loses, and so she lost her money. I won. So we went to the bar because my wife likes wine.
Well, let's clarify. Our money is like we get $20 each.
Mm-hmm.
The big gamblers that we are.
But we went and bought some. She got a wine, and I got a rum and Coke, which is something I do maybe once every millennial. I don't know. I've drank like one every 2 years.
Yeah.
So I downed half of it. I didn't even get the whole thing down, and we're talking, and this lady says, "Oh, good, get this card, and you'll be able to do that." So we're going over to get a card, and I'm thinking I'm going to cash my ticket and give my wife some money so she can lose some more and I can win some more.
Yeah.
Like a win-win.
Like a win-win, exactly.
Well, we get halfway there, and I realize I don't know where my ticket is. Long story short, I lost the ticket completely. So I was like, okay, God just showed me something. Because while we were walking, I threatened to leave her in the convention hall, and I
He
said,
was teasing. He's
I'll
like,
just pay
"That's it."
here and win like $300,000 and
Mhm.
buy our house outright and pay it off. And so of course God said, no, you won't.
Yeah.
And it was an instant gut check. Like, and I was upset, but I recognized that could have very well been just God giving me a little nudge away from what I was thinking. So Friday night we went back down, and after a little struggling, I ended up $80 over. And Diana still hadn't had any luck, which was okay. We went to the convention and things were going well. We were giving away all the books that the crowdfunders had given us. Thank you guys. To give away, and we're going to be posting that on the website soon.
Yes, we are.
But I can't. I don't want to get into that too much tonight. But it was.
I know we got Wednesday night show.
Right. But so we got through the first day, which was Friday, really, and it was a short one. So we went back out to the casino. That was the $80 one. Then Saturday we went through, and that was a very busy day. It was incredible, but sales weren't peaking. It was mostly the giveaways because kids saw Diana's little wheel of fortune. We did like a roulette wheel where they could win prizes off of our table.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
kid
some pictures of it. So
yeah. So every kid stopped. So we went over Saturday night, and I gave her money off of the 80, and I started playing, and I wasn't winning anything, frankly. And all of a sudden, she walks over. Now, remember, she's never won anything around me. She doesn't win. All of a sudden, she walks up. She goes, "I think I won $300. It's on her ticket. It's $300."
Yeah, $320 actually.
Right. So okay, that's awesome. We're cheering. We're happy. We're praising God. And I'm like, okay, I have a little money left. Let's wander around. And she takes me over to a game called Larry Lobster because my father's name is Larry. And she goes, give it a shot. So I sit down, and I always do a prayer before I spin the slots. I'm like, Lord, I know this is stupid, but if you wanted me to win, that's great. If not, no problem. Let's do this, right? So I sit down, and I'm playing away my last money. I think I'm down to like $20 or something on the ticket, because you get a ticket that keeps your balance, and you put it in the machine and you play on that. So I'm just hitting the button. I don't even know what I'm doing, really. I'm clicking buttons that light up and laughing while I'm doing it, having a good time watching my money go down
the drain.
All of a sudden it goes
pretty
crazy.
much.
All of a sudden it goes absolutely nuts. The machine does, and it pops up. I end up winning $270 right there on the spot. So the lady next to us and her husband, which was interesting, and this means a lot to me because he had one eye, which I instantly thought of Cyclopean. And he looked at me, he goes, yeah, you won. And his wife goes, do you know how much you bet? And I'm like, yeah, 50 cents. She goes, no, you were betting $12.50. I didn't think you knew what you were doing. And I'm like, I didn't. So we instantly went and cashed out because I took that as a blessing. God had more than doubled my money back from when I lost the ticket. And I really prayed that Diana helped me with that because I was upset. But I prayed that whoever found it needed it. Like, there were a lot of people there.
Yeah.
Distraught. And I just hope whoever found it was like, maybe the workers, somebody who makes minimum wage sweeping the carpet all night. Just I hope it helps somebody. But it was an adventure and a half. I got to meet a legendary comic book artist hanging out just out of the convention. Got a really good.
You're giving this whole rundown about.
I'm not doing a lot though. There's a whole bunch I'm not sharing.
Okay.
But,
Just
have
saying.
you ever heard of Patrick Broderick?
Yes.
Me?
Yes, I'm talking to Rick.
No. Unfortunately, in my comic stuff, growing up and reading it, I never really looked much at who the artists were, the writers, and all that. I'm not sure what it was. Stupid.
He did a lot of DC. He did some Marvel, like X Factor and Firestorm and all sorts of one shots. He's an instructor in Tampa Bay Art Institute, and I knew him from childhood. So for me, again, I ran into another legend that just blew my mind. Great guy. And there were things like that through the whole show.
Right.
And every time like we were discouraged by something, we would be reinforced and encouraged by another thing. Like the Lord was showing us so much. I
Right.
think in a way that has to come down to what you're looking for out of it. Like if you're not looking for it, you're just going to be miserable in the bad times and happy in the good times. But God is in all of it. And I think if people just wake up and look, He's always working with us. Always.
Amen.
Yep.
So I mean, yeah, it was an exciting time. We were exhausted. Funniest thing was on the way home though, because the Jeep decided to break down.
Well, it didn't break down. It had got a little hot,
Basically, the transmission overheated, but
which is common in my car.
panicking, we just pulled over, hung out, opened the hood, let it cool down, and it never gave us a problem the whole way home. But it was so cool because we had such a weekend that we didn't even worry about it. It was like, of course the Jeep broke down. Let's just pull over and talk for a few minutes and let it cool down. And so it was
Hi,
really
Terry.
great. Hi, Terry.
Hi, King's Kid.
Hi, King's Kid.
And Terry, actually, I'm bad luck for Chris. Like if I go near you, you usually lose when we're at the casino.
No, that's not true at all.
You don't think
Remember,
so?
Larry Lobster was, I credit you with that. So you won 330 or 20 or whatever it was. And then you pointed me over to Larry the Lobster and I won big.
Yes. I said, look there's a machine named after your dad. Well, his dad's not Larry Lobster. His dad's first name is Larry. I said, why don't you go play one on good old dad? And he sat down and then here you go. But we were so blessed throughout the whole weekend. You know, it's just, I can't, and it's not blessings that people may, you know, kind of outright see from looking at us, but just
Well,
the
that's why
whole
I'm saying
weekend.
you really have to, it's all in your mindset. If you go into something and your mindset is
Negative.
yeah,
Right.
or just for the wrong motive.
Right.
If you're going into the casino expecting to get rich, I expect you're probably going to leave getting sad.
Mhm.
If you go in expecting to, you know, party hard and find this and that and do crazy things, even if you do, you're going to be disgusted in the morning. And I know that from testimony from people on the radio, by the way.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I went in, I wasn't in that right when I went in the casino that one time. I wasn't really expecting to win much. Also, I wasn't expecting to spend much. And, and seeing as how I had limited time there, I made sure I got in. I made sure I didn't get too engrossed in it. That's why after I lost my second dollar, I'm like, okay, I'm out of here. And I didn't have much. I didn't have much to lose.
Well,
either,
right,
because I was going across country. I was on a fairly tight budget,
right?
You know, and I didn't know what all my expenses were going to be like because when we got to Los Angeles, I was going to have to take public transit there, so I didn't know what that sort of expense was going to be from day to day. And, you know, eating day to day, you don't know what that expense is going to be. So I limited, you know. I didn't know how much I was going to spend, but I knew it wasn't going to be a lot. And, you know, if you go to somewhere like that and, you know, just like Chris, you know, and you limit yourself to $20. If you win it, fine. If you don't, you know, fine.
Exactly. And that's honestly what we said. I mean, we weren't there. We weren't,
we didn't go there to gamble. We went there for
it was just like you're so tired after a show, and like we haven't gone to Comic-Cons in oh my gosh over a year because of COVID. And this was Friday was 1 to 8, Saturday was 9:30 to 7, and Sunday was 9:30 to 5, and that's a really long time.
Oh yeah, especially depending on what's going on, whether there's
you know. And as independent creators and artists, you know, we're not a big draw. Like these guys that are coming to the Comic-Con, they don't like gravitate right to the table. You have to, you know, engage. You have to make eye contact. You can't not. You
have to basically be a salesman.
Right.
And you have to be good at cold calls. And you have to be able to like draw people over. Now I'm going to tell you guys, we're getting a little bit too much in the convention, but I'll tell you, Diana's innovation on this one with the gaming or with the wheel was genius. And the thing that really like helped though was while we were there, we realized we needed to put a tag on it. And the second we put, free stuff for kids, spin the wheel, every kid that could read stopped.
Mhm.
Like maybe they didn't stop and spin it. Some just stopped and looked and kind of dissed me and went, I don't like that. Fine, whatever.
Yeah, and they were fine.
Other kids, no, not many, but other kids, especially younger kids, they were all taken in by Cyclopean. They instantly, like we had a little 3 or 4-year-old girl, came to the table at least 4 times.
Oh my gosh, was she
I later
precious?
figured out she was the granddaughter of a vendor.
Yes, she was. I noticed that.
She kept coming and we kept letting her spin and she kept winning like little Cyclopean cards and posters and stuff.
Yep.
And she would get ecstatically excited. Like, I mean, you would have thought she won like gold.
Right.
And there were quite a few responses like that from kids. And I don't know what to say. That was heartwarming. And I really want to do that every show. So we got to figure out a way to set up a deal where we can get help doing that. Because I know people loved it. They really enjoyed doing it.
So God Again was the inspiration really for all of this.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
We really had a blessed time. There were times of frustration, just because that we're human and that happens.
Well, no, there were definitely things we're not telling you about that brought me down.
Yeah.
Because like I said, God showed me a lot this weekend. It wasn't all like, hey Chris, here's the rainbow. Follow it to the end. No, it wasn't. But even the down times, if you look at them properly, they become blessings.
Right.
Right. So I'm going to share one because it's not really comic book related. I'm going to show you guys something.
Okay.
We have 3 viewers, so this is live. So this is
okay.
Dan. Ready? Okay, so this is a plastic tooth that I make on a regular basis. Look at my wife embarrassed. So I'm
not embarrassed. You were so worried that the world would notice. You just put it out there.
I'm showing people, but the thing is, what happened was I actually ate my tooth on Saturday night. So I had to go all night Saturday into Sunday without a tooth. So most of the day I was like this.
You could say he's being toothful right now.
Yes. And in a way it was kind of vain, but it helped me work through that in the sense that like God still blessed me and people still loved me and it was great. And actually Terry, for her, they were gold. And she was just so sweet. And there were so many kids like that. So I'm going to get off that because I could go into all the stories and I'll wait till Wednesday on that.
Actually, I might want to figure out how you made your wheel. I might for the next convention. I might make one of those.
Yeah, you know what?
I actually bought it on Amazon. It wasn't that expensive. It was under $20, and it gives you everything you need. We just printed out our characters and I put them on the wheel. So, but you can put anything on the wheel.
Yeah, there's a piece of like plexiglass that goes over it and that protects. Like I think she used the stickers, but they're also on plastic underneath, so they peel off nice and easy.
Right.
But they went on like a charm, and it was funny because it was.
How many slots was it?
How many? Oh, 16, I think.
10.
Or 12. 10?
10.
Yes.
Well,
Are you sure only 10?
But if you go to Amazon or if you put in spinning wheel, like even in a Google or a search engine, you'll find it.
Yeah, like the pegs just pop in and with little nuts in the back, and then the wheel goes down with a few washers, and away you go. It's awesome.
Yeah, because I've got lots of stuff that I could probably do giveaways with that, and heck, I might even put on it, because if you do something different for every 16, the chances of somebody hitting it, knowing my luck, I'd get hit more. Put the comic on there for one of the free giveaways.
Right.
Well, one of the wildest things that I think God was showing Diana and I, which was so awesome, was it was weird to have so many people coming to the table. And Saturday, we didn't have so many sales. And we were like, it was a weird feeling because you're there to make money, but these were already bought. So there was a whole lesson in that.
We obviously made the money, which is fine. But
it was weird, wasn't it? They were all like coming up and we were just like, Here you go, free stuff. See you later. Here you go. But then
Mrs. H, that's a great idea. Welcome. That
Sunday at
would be
Rebar.
fine. Yeah, that would, we actually have in our own family, we have 2 creators, 2 artists, and we have a friend of ours that's also an artist, and we are going to be reaching out to them. We also met somebody at the con that we may be hooking up with to do some cool little things I don't want to get into, but
Are you
some
talking about
other.
B?
Yep, I didn't want to get into it right now, but okay.
We won't get into that, but let me say this. That was one of the blessings. And B, if you happen to catch this online, I just letting you know again, we absolutely loved this kid. He was, and he's probably not a kid, but he was so loving and exciting and vibrant that he felt like a kid. He was our neighbor, and he was just a joy to be around. Like every time we talked to him, he was a happy guy,
Mhm.
no worries. Yeah, and we'll talk more about him Wednesday, but incredible people sometimes that you get to sit next to. And he was one of those rare, like, wow, dude, I'm so happy you're my neighbor.
No, he was an awesome person. Just to have to spend 3 days together, because remember, Rick, you've gone to Comic Cons. You kind of know you don't get to choose who you're going to sit next to.
No.
So sometimes it really does test your patience and test your ability to love another person, even if they're not the most lovable people. But you're there. You're going to make the best of it. You're going to do what you got to do. And I just feel like the whole event, the whole time that Chris and I were away, God's hand was in the whole thing. What are you waving for? I'm
Living
speaking.
at King's Kid.
King's
Yeah.
Kid.
I'm playing with the chat a little.
My
He,
mom.
Oh yeah, I know
Chris,
your mom. I know.
Chris really doesn't want me to talk ever. So
No, keep
anytime
talking.
I'm talking, where's Terry? Terry's my buddy. Terry, you feel me, right? You know, every time I start talking, what does Chris do? He does something silly that I get distracted, and now I lost my train of thought.
I had to wave back. She said hi.
Oh. Okay. Good.
But yeah,
Lord.
go on, honey.
No, I've lost my train of thought. Seriously, I have.
But that's how we've been all night. We're so exhausted that it's like we're kind of walking around like zombies. And
Yeah, I am still like, I went to bed. I was sleeping by 10:15 last night, and I got up at 6 as my usual, went off to work, and now I am feeling it
it
again.
traumatized my poor Chihuahua, who's laying at
Our
my
little
feet
tiny girl.
last night. So before the convention, she was getting kind of irritable, like an older dog does, and didn't want to sleep with me like she usually did. Last night, she wouldn't leave me. And like
You shouldn't talk about your wife like that, Chris.
Well, my wife is interesting because she knows how to keep me at arm's length because I'm an animal.
Shouldn't call your wife an old dog.
Oh
Yeah.
no, my wife's not a dog. No. My wife is my queen, my beloved.
But
My
isn't
blessing.
isn't God awesome?
Yeah.
He is.
See, Terry knows. Terry's been in enough streams to know
Hey,
that if
Terry,
I
you know
start,
what? I do the same thing at the convention booth.
he drives me crazy. He can't keep his mouth. He cannot. If I start talking, he has to chime in.
Or I was
And the
playing
good
with
Lord
little
knows that I
kids
don't
on
need
the
help with
side.
a conversation. Do you hear him? I'm going to get that little bean bag. When you hold the bean bag, you can talk. A virtual bean bag.
Well, if
That's
you
what I do
learn
with my
If
kids,
you
huh?
learn how to moderate and host the channel, you could mute me.
I don't have that kind of control.
But I could show you how. You could have the power as well. Actually, I don't know if we can have it as well. I think only one of us can do it, but I'd give it to you. I'd let you have it.
It's okay.
It's like a TV
So,
remote. I trust you.
does anyone who is out there listening or in our chat have any questions, or does anybody want to offer how God has blessed them, or do they have a prayer request, or does anyone want to say anything other than listen to Chris and I talk?
Well, while you do that, I'm going to pull up the verse of the day, okay?
That sounds wonderful, honey. Do that.
Don't you mean for you, isn't it? The verse of the week?
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
it is. But I do steal it from a verse of the day over at Bible Gateway, so I'm kind of like confused. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know if that's why.
I did that for like almost the first year of me doing verse of the day.
Oh,
No, much.
this is kind of like topical. Okay, hang on. Let me find. So my camera's right in front of my screen, so I have to move it so I can hit share. Share tab. All right, watch this, honey. This is going to be mind blowing, and
Okay.
I promise you, I didn't do anything. This is exactly what it was. No discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful later on. However, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it. And
I did this just the other day too. This verse.
that's amazing because that would sum up how I feel about the weekend. There was discipline and lessons learned, and it turned into righteousness.
hmm
Let's see.
That is funny. That is really good.
That's
It
a
applies.
perfect verse for the weekend.
See how good God is? You just were like, yep.
Well, that is how he works. You know, like when we least expect it. That's where he's there. And the funny stuff is, usually when we think we need him, that's when he won't answer because we really don't need him. Like we do need him, but like he's like, no, you can make this, you can do this. You don't need a miracle. Just get up and do it.
Right?
Yeah, I did that verse on Friday. Last Friday.
That's a blessing.
That's awesome.
I love the Bible. Somebody said something what I like on Twitter. They were like, "What's the most influential book you ever read?" And I'm like, "You mean like beyond the Bible, like a book after the Bible?" What? Yeah, no, that's not what they meant. But I'm like, I'll say it. I love Jesus. I'll say it. The Bible rocks in all its translations except for the bad ones. That's kind of a stilted statement, isn't it?
Well,
because then you have to define the bad ones. But
wow.
Truth is, aside from a few really horrid translations, I've always held the position that no matter what you're reading, if you have the Holy Spirit, it will speak to you through it.
God will use it.
And if you don't, it doesn't matter what translation you read because it's going to be confusing until you get to know the Holy Spirit, until you accept Jesus, until you become one with the Father, however you want to define it. Until you're in fellowship with God, you're going to have a very hard time making heads or tails about why things happen the way they do and why they are the way they are. And once you get a grasp of what the Holy Spirit teaches, then the Bible opens up. It's like an incredible book. Like, you know those pop-up books, you open them and the little scenes show up? The Bible is like that, but like a billion times better because it's like you can be, and sometimes it's funny. Like, remember where he talks about the talents? He gives the servants talents and one buries it, trouble and all that.
Yeah.
Like even when you don't know what you're talking about, before I understood that talents was money, I thought he was talking about handing out talents like, well, Chris can play guitar and he can draw and he's not very good at singing, but he can ride a bike. Like God gave them talents. And I was really silly as a kid.
Well, I think that's
well, I think most people interpret that scripture that way. Okay, is he pretending to be muted?
Remember in Matthew 5, Matthew 5:34, Jesus said, thou shalt not swear. But he was talking about like swearing oaths. But I remember when I was a kid, I used to pull that verse out all the time and say, Jesus said not to swear. See? Ultimate cherry pick from like a 9-year-old reading the Bible for his first time. Let's see. We got comments here. Hey, Jason, can you review my YouTube channel called Crazed J? So I might have missed something, but Jason, please review that channel. We hate Super Mario Anderson 111. Check out Crazed J.
I think it's just some people who stopped in to say hi. Maybe, I don't know. But I'm laughing at what Terry put. I'm looking right now to buy a plunger.
A plunger?
Yes.
Who put that?
Terry did. Buy a large plunger and mark it as Chris's mute button. I think that's so funny.
There it is.
I looked down and I saw that.
You're too far away to do that.
I know. I'd have to run upstairs. It would take more energy.
We used to do God Chat side by side. You might want to return to that mode. You know? Because then you can like kick me and tell me to shut up that way.
No. I
Oh,
like
she can
having.
still she can still tell you to shut up.
Well,
Yeah, but it's less effective.
he doesn't.
In fact, I tend to get worse unless she kicks me.
Mm-hmm.
I have the shins to prove it.
Oh my gosh.
So God has been great as always.
Mhm. Yep.
We have a lot of stuff coming up, and I'm just praying and praying and praying, and that's what gets us through. We do have friends. I'm not going to get into details, but there are friends that need prayer because just disease and illnesses,
Mhm.
and you know, when they want to talk about it, they will. It's not my place, but just know that not
Mhm.
everything is necessarily roses.
Right.
But, all bad things can be turned to good. In the end.
Mhm.
I almost slipped and talked about something I shouldn't. That's why I did that.
Well, it's we could have confused everybody and said, "All right, we're going to do Wednesday night now tonight," and then I was kind of concerned that you were going to come on and do exactly what you did
What
because
was
it's
that?
talk more about the Comic-Con because we're just coming off of it.
Yeah, but there's so much more to share, and I'm holding off on a lot of it, and
No,
I'm
you.
going to continue to hold off on it because
That's all right.
it's tempting. But the thing of the most important parts of it,
Mhm.
especially pertaining to God, is all the lessons. Like
Right.
the whole event was a series of chapters, not only reminding us about the con, but like for instance, we saw a friend who we had lost contact with. There was some confusion about what had happened. Made amends. That was cool.
Yep.
We sat next to probably one of the best artists in the country, and that was a learning curve too.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to just talk to other people, and it's amazing how you can see God's spirit when you don't even have to ask. You just know God is with them just by the spirit. And it was just fun.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say. It's interesting though because that's really like everyday life. It just happened to have like a casino in the middle of it.
Man, oh man, it was crazy.
Yes, and
it was a lot of walking. We walked about 6 miles, 5 to 6 miles every day
yep.
between going all the way to the convention center, then going all the way back to our hotel room, which was way across on the other side of the.
Yeah, there's certainly a reason why all the employees were thin and trim. Like almost all of them were very well fit, and I imagine they're sent around a lot.
Yeah, and thank goodness I brought sensible shoes and not crazy shoes.
Yeah, it was almost like when you go to an amusement park or a mall.
Right.
It was comparable to both of those because you just walk and you walk and you walk.
And you walk.
Sometimes you find places and you get a soda just so you can sit.
So down in the chat, we hate Super Mario 3 says serious question. Hi. So I don't know what the serious question is, but go ahead and post it there. W. It's just easier to say W.
Well, maybe it's Wario.
Mario? No, we hate Super Mario Anderson.
Oh, I see. That's so the W is coming off the we hate Super Mario Anderson.
Well, I'm just saying W. He said he has a serious question. So let's hear it. Well, let's type it. And
maybe it was before. Maybe.
No, it was 9:09. It was like a minute.
So, if you have a serious question, bro, we're here.
Thoughts about Jake Paul. Who's Jake Paul?
I believe that's the celebrity boxer who's a video vlogger type of guy.
And what do you do?
Well, he's boxing, and it's kind of, I guess it's entertaining. I don't follow him, but I think
Rick, do you know anything about Jake Paul?
No, I don't think it's who Chris
I think it is. I could be wrong.
I think it's somebody else. I've heard the name in political stuff, I think, or whatever.
Okay.
But again, like I said, I'm pretty sure I've heard the name, but I don't know nothing about him.
He's a YouTuber guy. He's a
But it might be a YouTuber, political. I don't know.
Yeah, Jake Joseph is an American YouTuber, internet personality, and professional boxer. He initially rose to fame. Yeah. Well, I don't really have any thoughts about him because I don't know anything about him.
Okay.
Well, if I was,
So
I think it's kind of cool that he's been able to become a boxer of some sort. But
he's a
I don't think he's.
boxer and
Yeah, I don't think he's serious. Like he knocked out some rapper.
okay.
Like I don't think he's going to be challenging for world championships. But
Hmm.
if he's found a way to make money and people like it, unless he's doing something wrong, like I don't see a problem with it. Is there a problem with Jake Paul?
Maybe we don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a boxer.
right.
He's also, it says, an internet personality and
That
professional
was
boxer.
more before. I think he's the guy that got banned from YouTube for going into the suicide forest in Japan, and he filmed a dead body and put it on the air.
I don't have any thoughts on the Epic Crazy Guy fan because I don't know who they are.
Yeah, I'll check them out after the show. I don't know who they are either.
Yeah.
And sincerely, I will. We'll take a look. But we are kind of God centered, so I didn't know if maybe Jake Paul came out as Christian. I know, and now that I'm thinking about it, I remember that he went to a flat Earth conference and kind of snowed everybody, and then laughed about it later. I think he went in acting like he believed in the flat Earth,
Right.
which is kind of funny. I mean, that's just a video troll, I think, but.
So Crazy Jay, it looks like, is some sort of a music person. If
I do
that's who
like
it is.
music. We do like music.
Mm-hmm.
I do mean all kinds. You never know
Oh,
what
cool.
we'll be listening to.
Is it Crazy GJ? That must be different. I found Crazy J's channel. We will check it out
Very cool.
and get back to you. I really don't know what to say. I hope he's
Well,
successful in whatever he's doing.
I think
Oh,
it's just Craze J because Crazy
Crazy GJ.
J.
Well, that's one way to get everybody to know. That was very good of you because now we're all going to look at it. Is it going to be something naughty? They're going to hurt my eyes?
No, it says they play Minecraft.
Oh,
Oh, that's kind of funny. I was, if you've ever heard of Mind Test, which is kind of like a Minecraft clone, I taught a class in that for quite a while.
mm-hmm.
Like literally to children all day long for what, a year and a half, honey?
Yeah. Which was another really cool thing.
So your job was teaching how to play a video game?
Yeah,
Yes.
but it was modified for educational purposes.
Right. Well, what I was doing was I was modifying it as we were playing it. For example, we built a model of the school, which was as close to scale as you can get it with 3x3 blocks. And instead of putting room numbers in a tag, we used clocks. So like room 213 would literally be an analog clock with 213 on the clock face, for example. And then I also created like American money would change, so they would have to use the denominations.
Mm-hmm.
And from there, we had like all sorts of things, like they would have to go read clues to figure out a mystery find where there would be a bonus block, and basically they got to create their own little town outside the school. And we did that. We did 3 versions of it because they kept destroying the town until I finally banned TNT.
Mm-hmm.
I did see a little bit of it, and I'm going to check it out as soon as the show is over.
Yeah,
Because as Diana can tell you, I am a Minecraft lover. I just absolutely
he does. And I actually got into when Chris did the educational game. My favorite part was building houses. I feel like I've missed my calling in this world. I should have either been a landscaper or a carpenter.
Or an interior decorator. You would have done well with that.
Or
too.
interior decorator. All of those 3 areas are kind of like my fun things.
In fact, we had a lot of praise about the way our booth looks. And that always comes down to Diana's layout, because I don't do booth. I don't set up the table.
No, he walks.
Yeah,
Really?
well, it's totally intentional.
I tell him to walk. Let's put it this way.
Right. If she lets me do too much, it's probably going to fall apart in the first day or two. Because I don't know what it is. I never put together cages properly. I don't put together the stands right. I hang up the posters backwards. Things crazy.
Well, that's just
Crazy.
the opposite. I put up my own booth, but then again, my mom has no idea what she's doing in that regard. But then again,
Oh,
I haven't had I've been at like two conventions. One she wasn't out with me because that was the one in LA, and then the Hamilton one, which she was
Yep.
at me with me. And like I have the idea how I want set up. And at the time, all I really had was all my drawings that I had done on my channel, to
Mhm.
try and sell, you know, and some business cards. Well, I had some also trading card type things.
You know what? Has my voice been weird all show?
No,
um,
It's been okay.
yeah,
yeah, we could hear
Good,
you. It
'cause
hasn't
Mike
been
is
as
way
like,
over there.
yeah,
I didn't even realize it.
it's
That's
all
how tired I
right.
am. I just got the thing up and I was like, "Hello, everybody. Welcome to God Chat."
We were sitting there going, "Oh my God, we got to get God Chat going." I'm running around doing stuff. Hurry up, hurry up. But I'm just really tired. I plan to go to bed very early and wake up and feel refreshed. That is my hope.
I don't know what that comment meant. Did you see it?
what do you
What do
think
you
of
think
sus
of well, sus people? Big fan, Poppy.
Hi, Dylan.
I have no idea who it is.
Well, if it's Big Poppy, Red Sox, Big Poppy.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. The Sox. What do you think of Sox people? Big fan, Poppy.
No, sus people. I think that's
Sus.
sus is like what? Suspect, I think it's called.
What do you think?
Or suspicious.
I don't know. Dylan, could you clarify what SUS means for this
We
for these
hate
people that
Fortnite. I like video games in general. Most
I
of
hope they're
them.
not laughing too hard at us for trying to understand this.
Oh, we have a group coming in. Well, hello everybody. Welcome to God Chat.
Hello, hello.
And
Poppy, I think he loves you. Well, if Poppy is the Lord, yes,
yes,
Poppy loves you.
Jesus loves you.
Yes,
God loves you.
yes. No, you got to do it right. You got to go, God, because somehow it always sounds cool when I hear that. Like, I don't really like sus means guy. I don't think I typed that.
Typed
That's
what?
kind of strange.
Oh,
I
Chris.
think we have a faker.
We do have a faker.
Yeah, because your name's not highlighted there like it would be if you typed.
Wow. Flattery. Okay, so like imitation is the greatest form of flattery, so I'm kind of like grateful, but I sure hope that you take care with that name. You notice it's Chris T, which is my name, Chris Tamulevich, but it also kind of goes with Christ, and Christ is the Savior. So
Amen to that.
be cautious.
Well, also, he put a period after Chris D.
He did. I think that's how he got the name on it. And like I said, I am flattered. I mean, if you want to make fun of me, that's okay. I kind of do that in a natural way. Self-deprecation is a hobby of mine. And my poor wife has to deal with that.
And the S in Shaq is lowercase, not uppercase.
It's kind of funny
good.
because technically, bro, you could be my first troll. And I had trolls back when I was doing religious stuff all the time, but this would be our first comic book troll, and that's kind of exciting.
Chris, you're
Actually,
such a
dude,
nerd.
if you want, we could probably send you a couple of books so you'd know what you were looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I just want to say, I don't know. I feel like I can say this. Lazmat is having a very special stream tonight at 10 o'clock.
I know. Yes,
I am not
he is.
missing it, and I don't want to say what I think it is. But if you're a friend of Lazmat, he's a comic book creator for Road Warrior Drake. I recommend you catch that stream. I suspect it's going to be very serious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be there.
Thank you. That was very nice.
What, honey?
That was very nice of you to give us this live. But have you heard of? I'm losing my mind. Can God help? Of course, God can help.
Yeah, you can help. I don't know anyone in this live, but have you heard Kanye West new album? I haven't heard it, but I do know Kanye has been doing a lot of he's been getting criticized for doing a lot of crazy ministry. And what people don't understand when I've heard about it, my rabbi is probably the craziest pastor you will ever meet, and he is a rabbi and a pastor. So if you ever want to check out Crazy, I can introduce you to him because he's blessedly crazy. I love comics, man. I'm just checking out the chat. I think Diana left me.
No,
Well,
I'm
you know
here.
what? We are going. So I don't want to get too deep into the comics. We talk about those on Wednesday nights, but we
Rick,
are
are you
going.
still here?
He's
Rick's
muted.
been muted.
Yeah, I didn't mute him. I don't think it must have been him. But we are going to be putting out free comics on HeroShack.com in the coming weeks.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, remember we were talking about doing the 2019 stuff.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So what we'll be doing basically is publishing older stuff, and then the newer stuff will get published as it becomes the older stuff, et cetera, et cetera.
Right.
And hopefully, when you get to see those, you'll be blessed. You know.
So I hope that King's kid is still there, and I don't
Yeah,
see anybody else.
they're probably just talking for a second. They're in the same house like we are.
Oh, that yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah.
all
Don't
right.
worry. We'll help you read them. We'll get them online, and if you're on YouTube, you'll be able to access them, and it'll be great.
Mhm.
One of the or catch us at a con where we have free comics to give out, depending on where we are in our Kickstarters and stuff. Like we always give out stuff, but books are kind of a hefty price thing. So
Mhm.
it's much easier to do books when we have backers that have paid for them, obviously.
Mm.
And I wish we could, like, it would be creepy to tape the kids when we're giving them out. But I wish the
Yeah.
backers could see the faces. It's
Mhm.
just too much in this day and age to ask children to pose for photographs or videos. That's ridiculous. So all we can do is testify that you guys really made them a happy group.
Yeah. So you're back on the Comic Con again.
Briefly, hang on. We got more comments here.
Oh, that's all. It's all
How to backflip.
stuff.
It's been making me physically and mentally insane. I don't know what to do. I
So
can't land it. Oh, you want to know something funny? When I was I think I was like 12 years old.
thanks, kids. Thanks, kid. I was
Listen,
getting worried,
honey.
like where he went. What?
When I was like 12 years old, Kirk Thomas was in the Olympics and he was a gold medalist and he did like this really stupid gymnastic ninja movie. So I joined a gymnastics school and I quit when I couldn't land a backflip. Instead, I landed it like my feet went down and it hit my eye and gave me like this huge black eye. And
my God.
it wasn't a landing that you could call a landing. It was like a crash.
It wasn't pretty. Is that what you're trying to say?
Right. And after that, I kind of quit gymnastics.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. See, I knew he had to do something like that.
Mhm.
Well, Beavis and Butthead is funny. I grew up with them. I loved Beavis and Butthead. I
Mhm.
don't know if they're a positive influence for kids and teens, but I would be lying if I said, I didn't enjoy Beavis and Butthead when I was younger.
Mhm.
Oh, well, yeah, you do if your uncle's trying to kill you, bro.
There are numbers you can call if you're,
What, like
feeling
911?
threatened. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not laughing at you. I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh at your situation, but those are the numbers
No.
I would use.
I was just saying if you're really in.
I know, but I tend to laugh a lot, and sometimes I think people think I'm being insensitive, and I don't mean to be.
Yeah.
So I
know.
apologize. And then I sound even weirder, don't I?
Yep. Pretty much. But it's okay.
All right. Well,
You're okay.
we're getting near the end of our time only because we
Yep.
have to kind of wind down, and then we're going to try to make a Lazmat stream without falling asleep.
Mhm.
And it's weird because we still have to go to work in the morning.
Stop making excuses. You got to show up for at least a little bit.
Well, no, I'm saying it's going to be weird.
Why?
So listen, Crazy GJ fan.
Crazy.
Yeah, make sure you come back Wednesday, and you can hang out with us on Mondays too. We do this every Monday. You can see the God Chat isn't like come in here and get preached to. We talk about God, but we drift here and there.
A lot.
And the big thing,
Chris
though,
does.
but really, we're not here to preach to you. We're here to show you Christ. as
Mhm.
best as we can. An example of what the Lord Jesus Christ would be like, is like, and can be like right now.
Mhm.
All you have to do is know him. Well, I can't criticize people for dark jokes because again, I'm human too. I can't say that I'm always well. No, I can definitely tell you I'm not always walking on water, so to speak.
I'm gonna stay very quiet at this point.
Let's just say I'm very human, and Diana could testify to how human. The only
Yep.
saving grace I have is the Son of God. That's it.
Amen.
And I
Mhm.
will tell you this though: when you're in the Spirit, He will take over and do amazing things, and you're going to have to live with it afterwards because it follows you. Everything that He's had me do that I wouldn't have normally done has stuck, and it's
Mhm.
amazing because He's just like that. Oh, I
It's
could talk
true.
forever, but
I
I
know.
can't, can I?
No.
So when do we end? When do we end the stream?
At 9:30.
What time is it?
9:27.
Mhm. Hey, welcome back there, sir.
Oh
Your
yeah, the
mother's
little boys'
system is
room is
acting
closed.
up. Yeah, I know. Your mother's like, you went to the bathroom. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, we weren't sure what happened, but I figured it was something like that.
My mom had to rat me out. Well, you've done it right. You're gonna pay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
so
guys, it
I
sounds
can't tell
like
what time it is because my hang on, let me.
it's
Okay,
because he doesn't have his glasses on. He's got them
one,
hanging somewhere.
It's
I
9:28 now.
yeah.
We have
Well,
a few minutes.
you were asking earlier about something to pray for. My artist is having troubles with his heart, and they're not sure what the problem is. So he's been in the hospital a couple times because
Oh
of it. So
no. I'm so sorry to hear that. Absolutely.
if you can keep him in prayer, that would be nice.
No problem.
Hmm.
Do you get a first name?
Ephraim,
Thank you.
E
I
F
I I figure
R.
prayer is effective because God knows, but it's easier for me to pray if I know a name.
Yeah,
Mm.
Yeah,
Ephraim is EFRAIN.
it's probably in the credits, isn't it, of your book?
Oh no, not the first one.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, EF Rain. RAIN. EFRAIN.
No problem.
Ephraim,
Ephraim?
Ephraim.
Yeah, that's how I pronounce it. I'm not sure whether I'm pronouncing it
I've
correctly.
I've um I've heard it pronounced Ephraim, Ephraim, you know. There, you got your glasses on. You can see. Whoa.
I'm put.
Are you sure you want that flag on the
I did
background?
that kind of like to go with this. Okay, no say, can you see? It was the only flag I had in the background. I
Oh
know it's burning.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I think it looks pretty, but some people might not like it. But they
Well, I
do
think
burn.
the epic crazy G fan and the watch television are having their own little thing going on there. I don't know.
By the dawn's early light.
Well, I think
Can
that
you see the
we can
bird
nurture
up
peace with
in
them.
that tree?
I think there's peace to be had. They can join forces in Minecraft world and rule because the Lord allows them to. That's what Minecraft is. It gives you an opportunity to feel like the ability to do so much, but it's all virtual and none of it's real.
Hmm. Exactly.
But it
None of
is
it.
fun. So with
Mhm.
that, if you guys could keep us in prayer so that we can recharge our batteries. It's not like
Mhm.
so the thing is, and I'll admit this openly, I'm not like 25 anymore, and like it is exhausting, but it's so worth it. Um, so yeah, pray for our rejuvenation because like everything on me hurts today. Like this is no concern because I monitor myself with my watch all the time, but my chest muscles and my arm muscles hurt, and I think it was just from moving all the boxes and the crates that we take to a show, and it's
Mhm.
like, oh Lord. So yeah, I'm looking forward to healing this week. How about you, honey? Anything to pray about?
No, I agree. It really is amazing how tired you are after the show ends. That to me is where I'm at. Like I feel like I'm in slow motion. Like I'm really just tired. Like I'm just tired. But we did want to come on because God is so good and was so good throughout the weekend. And like Chris pointed out, we had ups and downs, and we learned a lot about each other, about people, about how to gamble. Because we
How
had no
not to gamble,
how
how to
not
get
to
out of there quick.
gamble.
Hey, so Crazy GJ asks, can we play Minecraft sometime? I don't know if that was directed to me, but in the
Probably
future,
not. Probably I watch television.
right? But in the future, I may be streaming gaming, and if we could do a Minecraft session live on the air, I would be happy to have everybody join.
That would be so much fun, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because we want to. So I talked about this before. We were thinking either going monthly or every
Yeah.
night. Now, if we go every night, it won't be a we thing. I'll end up filling up most of those nights, and Diana will be a guest on or the host on Sunday and Wednesday with me. But
Mm-hmm.
I could seriously use a night of gaming every once in a while to get away from the drawing.
Right?
I love it, but I will draw myself to the grave if I'm not careful.
Any games that you have in mind besides
Well-
maybe Minecraft now?
Well, like Crazy suggested Minecraft, but I'm not sure. There was a bunch of multiplayer games that we could try. Isn't one of us the game where there's like a bad guy on the ship and you have to figure out who he is before you get killed or something?
Oh, Among Us.
Yes, Among Us. I'd like to try that sometime.
That's supposed to be funny.
And if you have enough people, I think it's good. Like you have to have 3 or 4 people to make it right. I don't know. We'll look into it. But Crazy G, if you were talking to us, just watch because we may have something soon, and you're more than welcome to join if we do. And I will check out your channel. With that said, we're gonna close it because we're already over time, and I gotta go get like coffee because my coffee
God bless
maker
you
broke.
guys.
So yes, we love you guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yep.
Or Wednesday, or not
Wednesday.
or whenever the Lord lets us next.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah.
He was gone. He had to say that too soon. I was
All
going to
right.
see whether he talked to you about something I had suggested or asked him about, but I guess
Well,
it's too late.
He hasn't said anything to me yet.
I didn't even end the broadcast.